Hello, 711 cohort. This is Module 15's Roundtable discussion. Today, I am talking to you about effective implementation of standards-based grading. To really focus in on my problem of practice, we here at this district, we're a single school district, so one high school. And over the past 6 years, we've been researching and implementing standard-based grading practices. And back in 2023, last year, we provided a board policy that's now in full effect. And the problem of practice at this point is really making sure that teacher mindset for fully embracing the implementation of the grading practices at Hollister High School are really in effect. And so that has been the challenge, even though the board policy is there. We have 6 years of getting started. It's still a challenge, especially since we have new teachers coming into the school district. We have experienced teachers that have been here for a while and teachers within the 5 to 7 years who are still in the process of understanding how to implement the practices. So in order to provide some context, like I said, we're a large comprehensive high school in a rural area. I would say the next closest larger urban city is San Jose, which is about 45 minutes north of our rural area. We have grades 9 through 12, and we also have 3,550 students, which is really large. We're the top 3 largest high school in Northern California. So we usually take in around 650 to 700 Algebra 1 students every single year, and that is all ninth grade. And so for the context of the work that I've been doing with my participants have been high school Algebra 1 teachers. I chose Algebra 1 because at looking at student performance, it is also the one course on campus that has the highest F rate. So we know that that has been a challenge, and we know that a large portion of standards-based grading is based on student competency and really demonstrating what they know. So I would like to work with Algebra 1 students and teachers on the effective use and implementation of standards-based grading. And so that was what I really worked on with Cycle 0 and what I will like to continue to work on with Cycle 1. The intervention that I am planning for my Cycle 1 is an instructional coaching cycle. Here we have 4 instructional coaches, 2 within our math department, and we use the Gym Night Impact Cycle. And that really provides coaching in 3 phases: identifying, so that's finding out what the need is, and that's self-identified by the teacher that is going through the coaching cycle. In this case, it would be around our standard-based grading practices. And then there is a learning phase. So whatever strategy is agreed upon by the coach, which would be me, the researcher, as well as the teacher, goes through a learning phase and implementing that learning in the classroom. And then there's an improving phase where there's a conversation around the strategy, how it was implemented, some of the successes and possibly some of the challenges with implementing that strategy. And it's a cycle, so it can continue to iterate as the coach and the teacher continue to work together. So really my research questions at this point are focused around what are the specific barriers that might hinder teachers from effectively implementing standard-based grading, because we know that is a struggle. So if we can identify those barriers, we can address them, as well as what specific professional development opportunities are required in order to effectively implement the standard-based grading practices. So in this case, although it's a coaching cycle, it is considered a professional development opportunity. As I did my research and working through a lot of what's going on in K-12 education and standard-based grading, 2 theories really came to light. Self-determination theory was one where it really does look at the lens of teachers and how they can promote and support students, especially high school students, their autonomy, competence, and relatedness within the learning process. So really giving them some level of choice in demonstrating their learning, which is the competency, as well as the relatedness for why they're learning what they're learning in their content area. And then they can be a part of that learning process. And then a secondary theory is really the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. And this is twofold. That's for students in the classroom within the learning process, but it's also for the teachers that are implementing the standard-based grading and specifically through the coaching cycle. What is motivating them for really embracing the effective implementation? So I'm excited to see those theories really overlap. And then for future work, as I look at my cycle 1, my cycle 0 interviews really gave me some in-depth understanding of the struggles of really implementing this work. So I do see professional development tightening up and really seeing what is needed as I work with different teachers and specifically within the math department. And then I also identified a need for calibrating our rubric grading. And that could actually be done through a coaching cycle as a team. So not individually one-on-one with teachers, but actually through our professional learning community teams. And in this case, it would be the Algebra 1 PLC, and really modeling what it looks like to calibrate scores for rubric grading. So I'm excited that that was identified and not something that I had initially thought about for cycle 1 work. But I am looking forward to this, and that is what my cycle 1 work will look like for effective implementation of standard-based grading.